Hi guys, welcome to another video of our API automation series. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you about Apache Log4j. So, what is Apache Log4j, or if I ask you that what is Log4j, or what is the uses of Log4j, right? Using, or why do we need to know about Log4j? So this is something that we are going to discuss in this particular video, and here are the topics that you can see, that what is Log4j, what all are the benefits of using Log4j, then how to configure the Log4j, and what all are the levels of Log4j, and how to set up your project for using the Log4j, right? These are the topics, majorly main topics that we are going to discuss into this particular video. So I hope this video is going to be useful for you guys. So if I talk about that, if I say what is log4j or what is a logger, right? In terms of development point. So what is a logger? Logger is nothing but you can say utility. You can say logger is a tool which helps us to log something during your execution. It can be your test case execution. It can be your application run. It is being used everywhere. It is your application development, it is your application automation test case development, whatever is their automation project, Log4j is going to be used in each and every cases. And if I talk about the loggers, there are different type of logger are there available in the market. So we have logger for, let's say, I have a there is a different loggers are there. We have a Apache logger is there, right? Apache Logger is there in the market, and similar to we have Logger further from the Java itself. We have loggers, right? Java Logger is there. We have Selenium loggers also there in the market, right? But apart from all these loggers, most of the people are using Apache Logger only. Okay, so that is the beauty of this particular logger file. And here in that website itself, you can they have mentioned that the top it is listed as a one of the top 100 critical open source software project, right? So here you can understand what is the how this Apache log4j is uh, capture the market, right? So we'll be able to discuss. We are going to discuss all this for now. All this about the log4j. What is log4j? What are the benefits of using log4j, and how to configure it? How to use this into project, right? Now, if I talk about what all are the benefits of using log4j, right? So if I say log4j, it is going to log everything, log the informations, right? Log the informations. You can log, you can say any errors, right? It will help us to understand any warnings there in the executions, log any warnings, right? So what happen actually, you can log these things into your console file, right? But what happen if you do one more execution into your project, then this console window logs are getting vanished from the console window, right? And you are not going to get those logs. So for that reason, logger helps us to log all this information that you have added into your execution. They can capture all this information and they can create a file, and then they are going to store all this log information what happened at the time of execution. So if you go ahead, go and check the particular log file, you will be able to see where something happened. So tomorrow, let's say you have completed one execution, and tomorrow you are going to see what happened during the execution, what the test case got, what all are the data is being used for the execution. So everything you can find from the logger. So this is how the logger is going to help you in the debug purpose, right? So this is the use. This is one of the very useful, you can see, configuration details, you can say tool which is helping you in case of any debugging purpose. Mostly people use this log4j. Okay, now next thing we'll see that how to configure the project, right? So for configuration of the log4j to into your project, what you need to do actually, you we have two options. Either you download the log4j jar file from this particular location. You can say download Apache log4j2. You can download the jar file from here. or you can go ahead with the Maven dependencies. For our project, we'll be using Maven dependency. So let me, here you can see they have provided the Maven dependencies over here. So if you want to use Apache Log4j, then you have to use these two dependencies. So I'll just do copy this particular these two details, and I'll go to my project, and I'll go to my form.xml file, and I'll add these dependencies I copied, right? So let me save it. So my Maven project is now, I have added the Log4j Apache dependencies. Now I am ready to use this particular Log4j. For now, what we have to do, actually, we have to do the setup for the Log4j Log4j details, also configuration details. If you come to here, you can see config details. There, there are four ways how you can configure the log file. You can see they have mentioned log4j. Uh, this one, you can see they have mentioned that if you want to configure log4j into your project, so there are mainly four ways you can choose either of the one. Okay, so what all are the four ways? You can go ahead with the XML approach, or JSON approach, or YAML, or properties file. There are four approaches. Among of these four approach, X1 approach is XML, and we have JSON approach also. Another is YAML approach, YAML. Okay, another approach is properties, right? So these four approach, you can choose any of the either XML, either JSON, YAML, or properties. For now, for simplicity, we are going ahead with the properties file approach, because in our uh, earlier configuration with extend report also we have used properties. So in this project also we'll be seeing how to use this property file to config my log4j settings, right? So let's see how. If you scroll down to this page, and you see they have given the details how to config. So if I scroll down little bit, here you can see configuration for X from URL. If I scroll down more, you can see here they have given details for configuration with external file. So if you want to configure with external file, so this is the something details configuration, how you can configure with the external files. And if you want to configure with JSON structure, here you can see they have given the JSON structure also. And also similar to here, they have given the structure for the YAML file if you want to go ahead with the YAML file. But we are interested with the properties file, so we'll be going ahead with this approach. This is something straightforward, and you can see very simple, right? And for your case, right now I have did already as I did customization of this particular implementation according to my need. So I'll copy that particular config details from this particular file, and I'll add this into my project. So similar to, we have added and extend report properties over here into this particular test and resources location. So you have to configure this particular, you can say, particular Apache log4j configuration details over here into this particular location resources. So after resources, I will create another file. Let's say log4j2 dot properties. Okay, and I'll paste the details I've copied. If you just go through this particular file, you can see there are three sections majorly. This is a root section, the root configuration of the particular log4j, and this configuration is specific for how you want to see your logs into console. And this settings is for the how you want to see the logs for into your file, right? It will going to generate a file. I am giving the file name over here, and this file name I am mentioning that this is my file name, API test execution.log, right? And I want to get it. I want this log to get created inside of a logs folder, right? Right now in this project, after my project name, there is no folder is with the name logs, right? So what log4j does actually, if the folder doesn't exist, it will create automatically by itself. We do not have to handle it externally. Okay, so no need to worry about that if the folder is present or not. log4j is going to create the folder for you. So this is how setting is going to be. So if I'll explain these details later. For now, what I'll see, let's say I'm going to run my particular one test case here. Let me do first maven and package. uh, okay, let's wait for it to execution done. I'll stop the execution, and I'll do, let's say I want to execute this particular scenario. I'll do run. Okay, my execution is got completed, but I'm not able to see any log statement has given, right? So if you go to this particular print, and you can see there is nothing called nothing is happened, nothing, no changes there in the console print, right? So what we are missing here, we are missing something that we did not say how to log or what to log, right? Those things we are not given. Also, if you observe here in this particular project, there is nothing called logs folder got created, right? So what we are missing, actually, we did not initiate the logger. We created, we configured the log4j properties. Now our job is to initiate the loggers here. In this particular class file, let's say our class is, let me remove this one. What is this? Okay. So inside this class file, I have to first initiate the logger. So how to initiate? So not only this class, and in future, let's say you have 10 number of classes, 50 classes, right? So whatever classes you have, everywhere you have to initiate this logger here. So I'll see public static. Always remember that I have to take logger as a static logger, okay? And I'll see public static and say type as a logger. I'll say logger is equal to log manager, and I'll say dot get logger. अभी भी वीडियो ना. Okay. So here what I have to do, I need to just pass the class name. So my class name is my step dev. So I'll copy it from here. I'll see my step dev dot class, right? So if you see my step dev dot class, and just end of the statement over here, and I need to do an import over here. So if I keep my mouse over here, you can see it is giving me the prompt, and you can see here from the import statement, these are the two imports that is got added here. Make sure that uh, these two import you have done there in your class file, otherwise it is not going to work. Okay, so we have to make ensure that only these two import is getting imported, not any other import. Okay, so once you're done with this import, what we can do, actually, now you can go ahead and log your whatever logs you want to print, right? So let's say I want to give some log print here. So this is my, here where I'm setting the base URL, right? Here what you can do, actually, you can say logger dot, let's say I want to do the debug log. So here you can print whatever log you want to print. I can say that setting the base URL, right? So you can say that I am setting the base URL, right? Or you can print the base URL also if you want. You can say setting the base URL dot as, right? And you can print it like, then project constant dot base URI, right? This is something the URI I'm going to print. I'm going to store as a base URL, so I'm printing it base URI. Similarly, I can give a print statement here also. Here I'm ending setting up the endpoint URL, so I can say logger dot You can do logger.info also. Let's say I'm saying setting info, and inside of this I can say setting the endpoint URL as, and I can see comma endpoint URL, right? So similarly, you can add any number of log statement, whatever you need in your project, right? You can add those. Let me quickly add for rest of the methods. So here I can see for this one, I'll say print, I'll say logger dot debug, and I'll say header set as key, header setting key as this, and value as this, right? So this way you can set the key and value. So I'll say key and value, right? Similar way I can set, I can instead of here you can see we are already printing the body. So instead of printing it as a statement, I can use logger.debug, right? So now instead of what it will do, instead of doing a print statement, we are just logging that file, that particular response body, right? Similar way, let me complete for the other states also. Here we are using the system out print. Instead of that, I will be using logger.debug. So in the next line here, this is for the I should see this is a verification step definition. Here also I'll print, let's say, before of the assertion, let's say logger.debug. Here I can print, let's say, uh, verifying. I want to print the actual and expected here, right? So I'll say expected value, and after that I want to print something. After that I'll do new line, and I want to see actual value, right? And after that I want to print the data, and here I'll say expected value and expected distance path dot. This is my actual data, right? So I'll be printing that also, right? So now we are printing actual and expected. Similar way, you can add logger statement for whatever and wherever you need. So here I want to print one more logger. Let's see logger dot debug, and I'll say header map details, or details or content of the header map, and I'll say here I want to print header map dot entry set, right? So this is how you can do log statement into your project, into your code. Once you are done with this, now you when you run this particular test case, what it will happen? This log will get with these are the something log we have written here. Those will get logged. So if let me go to the my Cucumber file. Before of that, let me do Maven and refresh the project. I'll see Maven package. Let me stop the test case this execution, and what I'll do, I'll go to this particular scenario and I'll execute this scenario. Okay, now I'm running it. Okay. Now you can see here my test case got executed, and if you check the console, now you can see we are getting some out the console output in a good form, right? Here you can see it is some information, it is providing me this information, and this is something that we have logged there in the logger. And also you can see it is giving me what at what time, what date, and what is the timing this particular statement got executed, right? And here you can see this is the something information, either it is your the logger log level that you set as a debug or info, right, or warning, or whatever the type of log you set there in the project, that is showing, that is displaying here in the log console also. And this is something a class file name, and from where, from which class this log is got printed, so it is showing you the class file name. And this is something the line number from which particular line this log statement got printed. If I show you here, let me take you to there. This is the console file, and you can see this is the print statement that I have given logger.debug at line number 29, and my class name is my step date. That is something you can see my step. This is the class name. This is the line number. So similar for other also, right? This is how you can get the logger into console. And one more thing, and we can see here one more thing. Let me show you that config file we have given, right? So let me open that config file. If I go to resources and this config file, here you can see the details. This is for the console print. This pattern, what is the pattern that you want to have that log output, right? So this is the pattern. We have given that we want to see first the years and the date format. So similar date format it is giving us here. If you want to have date format inside a square braces like this also, so you can do what you can do actually, you can just wrap it with a square braces also. So it is up to you how you want to see your logs, so you can customize it. No issue. We can do customize for log to the files also. So it's up to you how you want to see your logs. So next one is this is talking about the what is the log level that you set in the particular log information in your code, right? So for now you can see we are getting debug info, and if you set any other type of log like warning or you can say error, right? So those case it will show you that okay, this error is this log is for error, right? This log is for info. This log is for warning. So those kind of things that you can understand from the log itself, right? The next part it is showing the it is for the class name, this one, and this L is for the line number. Okay. Now one thing, guys, uh, here let me show you that this log file is got created or not. Let me go to the project. Here you can see if I go inside my project directory, there one logs folder got created. This is the log folder. If you explore this file folder, you can see we have the particular file, that name we have given over here, right? So if you open this particular log file, you can see this log file has the complete log information that we got from the response in the console, right? This complete information it is got logged into a file. So how beautiful it is. Now later on, today you have executed, tomorrow you want to verify the what happened there in the execution. So you can do just get the particular log file and you can verify whatever happened there, what is executed, what is the data is being used. So everything you can verify from this by using the log file. Now, let me show you one more thing. Let's say I want to execute it once more time. So I'm going to execute. Let's say I want to execute this test right now. Okay. So what happened? That it get executed. Now you can see my test case got executed. We are getting the log print from in the console file. Now if you go and check that we have that log file already there, and here this is something executed in my previous execution. And if you come to the below, you can see we are getting one more log from the new execution, right? So what it is actually going to do, it is actually appending the executions from one execution to another execution. So see here, it is starting from here another execution, right? This is for from my first execution. This is for the second execution. That means it is nothing but appending each and every execution result into this particular log file. Right? Every time you are executing, it is going to append into this file. But for this is, let's say I am executing 10 times, 15 times, 100 times. So it is going to all it is going to append this all this execution to this particular file. So that is going to be an again a problem for me, right? So to how to avoid those things, I what I want that I want to create generate a every time I do an execution, I should be able to create a new file, new log file here in this particular log directory, right? For now it is overloading. For now it is sorry, it is overriding because of the file name is constant, right? In this particular log file configuration, you can see we have a constant file name, so it is always going to write into this same uh, log file. So what we can do actually, we can parameterize this particular file name so that every execution it should it should do actually, it should create a new file for me, and I want to see each and every execution in different log file. So how can we do that? For that reason, we have to dynamically create a new file every time I do an execution. So let me comment the previous one. What I can do actually, I can, let's see, I'll remove this particular name, and we can use, let's say I want to parameterize, and I'll give a log file name. I'll give a name, it is log file name, right? So this is something I want to generate every time I am doing the execution. So now how can we generate and where to generate, right? That is something we have to decide. Particular log file name, it should be the for the place where your test case entry is going to be happen, right? For now, I can see that this entry, my test case is going to start from this particular line. And if I go to the definition of this particular line, it is actually starting from this particular class file, this step definition class file, right? So what I want actually, before anything got executed from this particular file, before any initialization of the of the you can see object references or any particular other variables, right? I want to execute something and to make sure that something got executed. So what I can do actually, I can have a static block over here, and in that particular static block, I can create a particular name. So let me create a static block. I'll say static, and I'll create a block over here. Okay. So this is a static block, guys, and here we can do the static block. It can ensure that it will be get executed before any other objects got created or particular method got executed from this particular file. So what we can see in this particular static variable, I want to create a file name with a dynamic, let's say, with the timestamp, right? So let's say string. I'm saying file name. Okay. String file name is equal to, I'll say, uh, what I can say actually. Let me take uh, mm, simple date format. I'll compare it and I'll get the value name, right? So let me say new simple date format. I'll take this one. Instead of this, I have to pass the date format. What is the date format? What is the pattern that you want to have? So I'll say the pattern as y, and then hyphen I'll say mn, and then hyphen I'll say dd. Okay. After that also I want to append with the timestamp also. So I can say colon, or you can use hyphen also. That is not an issue. So minute and second. So I want to append the file name with this particular format. Okay, and after that I'll say dot format. I'll be formatting it, and I have to take the time. So I'll say new date, right? So this is something is going to return me current date time, and this datetime I'm going to append into my file name. So what I can do, I can system dot set property, I can use system dot set property now below one. So here I can set and property key and value pairs. Okay, so my key and value, let's say the file name I want to have like this, like this. Okay, I want to have the file name like this, and after that I want to append this particular format, right? So did format. So what I can do, after that I can say plus and add this, and after that I need the extension of the file. So I'll say log, right? Now here I have to give a variable name at with which key you want to save the particular file name. So the file name key that is I have given over here. I have to use the particular key over here. Okay. So my I will be done with the settings. How to set the particular name direct dynamically. So I'm saving the name, and this name will be going to be used by this particular properties file. Hope this is clear to you guys. Now let me do one thing. Let me just do a Maven package and I'll run it. Okay. So uh, let me run this particular test. We already executed. Let me delete this particular folder also. Okay. So now let me run. You can see the execution is started now. Now you can see we are able to see the content and everything, right? Now let's see how the log file is looks like. If you go and you can see we are not getting the log file got created, right? Something is going happen. Oh, log file is created but the name is not got changed, right? So here you can see everything logged and everything is coming, but I wanted to have the parameterization, that is something not working, right? So just let open this particular log file. Here you can see we have done the name whatever we have given with the same name, it is created the file for me. But I do not want to go ahead with this approach. I think something we are missing here. Let me go to this particular log information here. What we can see is this way is sys colon, and after that I am giving the parameter name. Now it should work fine. Let me do one more Maven package, and let me run the test again. Okay. Now you can see this time test is got executed, and if you go to my logs folder, you can see now, yeah, that is what we wanted to have. Now you can see that our log file got created, and it is also appending the timestamps with the log file name. Here one thing we can do actually, before of the log file name, after that also we can add an hyphen so that it will be looks like good. So here you can see this is the log file got created, and the logs you are getting over here, right? So this is every execution. Now you will be the number of execution you will be performing. It will create a new files for you. So let's see what is not getting closed. Oh, okay, I will see that. Okay. So every time you do an execution, it will create a new file. Let me show you. I'll do one more execution. Here you can see we got one more log file generated, right? So this is how you can use the log4j properties. You can utilize of this. Now one more thing I want to show, the label, right? What all are the labels are there for log, and how these labels are affecting. So let me take you to the website, and there they have mentioned the documentation about the log. Okay, here you can see we have different type of log labels. Let me just show you. If I show, see, there are the different levels are there. Starting from we have level like off, we have fatal, error, and we have warning, and we have info, debug, trace, and all, right? So there, these are the level log levels we have there for Apache Log4j, and the there are different use cases. If it is an a fatal exception, fatal error you got, your if you got some error there in your test, right? So you can use logger.error. Sometimes you just wanted to provide some warning to your from your log execution, test execution. So you can use logger.one. If you want to just print some information, you can say logger.info. And there is a debug. If you use you want to go for any debug purpose, so you can see logger.debug. Similar for trace and all, right? So these are the loggers. These are the in labels, uh, the from starting from zero. This is the lowest level, this is the higher level. Okay, so it is looks like this way. If you use in your logger file, if you uh, I mean here in this particular my IntelliJ, if you use level as if you use, let's say, uh, zero, right? Or if you, let's say, logger dot off, right? If you use off, then nothing is going to log into your log file, right? So let me show you. If I execute my test case, let's say, now you can see one log file. This is the new log file got created due to new execution. Uh, Something wrong. Oh, okay. I have to do Maven once again package. Let me close it. Okay. Now let's run the test once again. I'll execute the test. Okay. Now another log file got created. If you open this particular file, now you can see there's nothing logged, right? Because we set the log level as off. This is something as switch, bro. If you are setting it as a off, then there is nothing to going to generate. You can set as per your requirement. So how it is work actually? So if you set it is a as off, then it is going to generate log. If you say fatal, then it will generate logs only which is marked as fatal only. So similarly, if you work set your log level as one, then it will go to and it will generate logs only for those which is below of which is come to this particular, which is from warning to off, which is falls into this particular level. Okay, if you set your log level as info, then it will generate all the logs which are marked like this way. Or if you set debug, then it will log for all the logs levels which are marked as this. Okay, so if you set your log level as all, then it will whatever type of log you have used in your test in your code, all everything is going to be logged. I'll show you in an example. Okay, so let me quickly go to the IntelliJ first, and okay. Okay. So let me set. So what I'll do actually, let me set the log level as. let's say info one I want to set the log level as one, so it should be print all the logs which are marked as either fatal or error or one. It will not print the logs which is above of one, so it means info debug trace this kind of logs it will not going to print. So if I go to my IntelliJ, and let's say I'm printing it as one, right? And in my test case, let's see one of these step definition. I'm going to add all this kind of information. Let me do one thing. I'll let's say I'll just execute one single line. I'm not going to execute only just for this particular step definition. I'm going to do the execution. So here I'll say it let logger dot I'll say uh, fatal, right? Here I can say um, log for fatal, right? So similar way log for fatal. Similar way, I can give a print like logger dot. You can see error, right? And here I can print log for error. Similar way, you can do a logger statement like logger dot one, right? I can say log for one, right? Let's say I'm having one more logger like logger dot info and say log for info. Similar way, let's do other also. So I have almost all. I have debug, I have fatal, I have error, I have one, everything I have done captured over here, right? So now let me do one thing. What I can do, let me go to the properties file. I'll set the one, right? So whatever falls below of one, it will just print those statements, and others will not get printed. Let me show you. I am doing this package once again. I will come to the feature file, and I'll be executing this particular scenario now. Okay. Now here you can see we got only, although we have used multiple loggers there in that particular step definition, we have used one debug, fatal, error one and info, right? There are five loggers we have used, but only three logs got generated. Only fatal, error and info. Sorry, fatal, error and one. So whatever is belongs to whatever is there under the one, so those are only got printed. We did not get any print for the debug level or info level, right? Now you can understand that how you can control the what all the things that you wanted to log into your window or into your log file, right? So this is how, if you go to the file also, you can see we have only those logs that we wanted to generate, right? So if you set your log level as all, now let's see I'm setting it as log level as all. So whatever logs that you have used into your code, so everything is going to get logged, right? So just a second, I'll show you. So let me run the same thing, same test once again. Okay. Now you can see our test got executed. Now you can see that we have received all the log printed, right? We have got the log printed for debug. We have got the log printed for fatal, error, info one. Everything got printed whatever we have given there in this particular step definition, right? So now this is how you can use. This is how you can control what to log, what not to log, right? And how to configure the log for your project and how to do a setup. Everything I have discussed with you, and how to create different files for each and every execution, This is something I've already discussed with you guys. I hope this explanation is clear to you guys how to use log and how to define, how to configure, right? Everything this is I hope this concept is clear to you guys. If you still have any question, any query, just let me know. Then I'll be try to clarify your doubts. And this code is going to be uploaded there in the GitHub directory also, and I'll be providing you the link in the description below. Just check it out. And yeah, that's all for today's video. Stay happy, guys. Thank you and bye.